home from work. It is a very challenging time to be driving anyway. But the advice we are giving you now is that if you are located listening to us by car, pull off at the next available exit along Interstate 459 or Interstate 65 and just go into a restaurant, convenience store, gas station, anything that would offer a place of shelter until this passes. And this will probably not be a long threat. And again, you're looking at the tornado area right there. And again, it looks like it's going to be crossing Interstate 65 in the vicinity of Pelham and perhaps the Tank Farm exit. That's County Road 52. But we advise no travel along Interstate 65 from, let's just say, Valleydale Road down to the main US 31 Alabaster exit. So we'll be more specific. No travel along Interstate 65 from Valleydale Road south to the US 31 exit at Alabaster for the possibility of a tornado. Let's go back to the main graphic system. And again, this is going to be the reflectivity display. This is the rain. It's going to be a lot harder to see any tornado circulation here, but you can see that very intense storm. We don't see the classic structure here that we saw earlier, the bounded weak echo region, but still, that is a storm that could have a small tornado that is wrapped in rain. It's dark. You won't be able to see it. Don't even try to do that. There's no point in doing that. This is a situation where the best thing to do is just to play it safe, get into a small room, lowest floor near the center, away from windows. We prefer that you obviously, if you can, put on a helmet in your safe place. You should have those, a whistle, an air horn with you, hard sole shoes in the event you have to walk over some debris, and obviously no cars and no mobile homes in a situation like this. So again, we're going to hold it here. Obviously, there's a tornado warning. In fact, I'll take off the radar data and again put on this tornado warning polygon. And you can see that it basically runs from near Valleydale Road down to the US 31 exit in Alabaster. That's a good look at that. And if you're in that red zone, you respect the polygon, you go to a safe place, you get off the highways if you can. And again, this is not a case where you need to just stop and get into some ditch. Get off at the next exit. Safely, go into any site-built structure, a business, anything that offers shelter, and go and stay until this danger passes. Let's go back to the high-resolution velocity display. We'll kind of bounce back and forth between the two. And again, you can see that signature that has prompted the tornado warning that is currently in effect for northern Shelby County. The tornado signature is basically moving out of Jefferson here. In just a matter of minutes, we can clear all of Jefferson County. The concern will be for northern Shelby County. And again, the communities in the polygon, as you can see, they will include Helena, Pelham, Alabaster. These are very densely populated cities here. And again, I'm watching the social media feeds very carefully, and we are not seeing any reports of damage at this point, but of course that could easily change. If you're just joining us, we are now sitting at 5:53. We have a tornado warning in effect for northern Shelby. Let's go back to our main graphic system, and again, we're going to bounce back and forth between multiple sources here. And again, this is going to be the actual tornado warning polygon. We'll show a larger radar view in just a second, but that is where we have concern for the possibility of what could be a small tornado. And understand, within that mass of storms, we're also going to see strong straight-line winds that could exceed 50 miles an hour. We are getting a report now from the Eastern Valley Fire Department with a report of what could be a tornado touchdown on Pocahontas Road. This is out in the McCalla area. That is a report from the Eastern Valley Fire Department. Again, they're reporting a touchdown. What that means, we don't know what type of damage they're seeing there. But again, that would be in line with the structure that we saw with this. And again, the one thing I want to do very quickly is look at a different product here while we're looking at, let's go back to the high resolution radar. We're going to look at the correlation coefficient and notice a little bit of negativity there. And again, this is a product where the radar correlates the things it's seeing, the type of returns it's getting. If it sees something that looks a little different, it gives a negative value, and often that can represent debris that is being lofted from down below. And again, this is coming across a densely populated part of the Birmingham Metro, the southern part of the Birmingham Metro, and that could represent some lofted debris. In fact, really quickly, I'm going to animate this, and we'll kind of watch this together. The truth is it's awfully noisy, and I can't confirm that as a TDS. I can't do that. It's a possibility, but again, that is more of a noisy signature. So again, we'll go back to the velocity display, and again, you can see that this tornado signature on radar is going to be crossing I-65 very close to the County Road 52 Tank Farm exit in Pelham. Nobody should be on US 31, obviously, at this point, because, again, we've got potential for what could be a tornado. So for both I-65 and US 31, the two main north-south corridors, those things run parallel to each other. We advise no travel from Valleydale Road. And really, we can almost narrow that down now. Let's narrow it down some more. Let's take it from Alabama Highway 119 down to Alabaster, down around US 31 where it intersects with I-65. So that is the great concern right now for the possibility. And again, even if there's no tornado, the winds are very extreme on the Doppler radar display here. And again, that's I-65 right there. Back to our main graphic system. And again, we're going to be bouncing back and forth between multiple sources here. This is the actual tornado warning polygon. Chelsea technically is in this. Chelsea, a lot of people have Chelsea addresses. The greatest concern is going to be for those of you south of US 280 that live in Chelsea. But again, this polygon does include Helena, Pelham, Alabaster. The I-65 corridor from Highway 119 south to US 31. We advise no mobile homes. We, of course, no cars. As we've been talking about since the warning was issued, the thing that you need to do is to get off at a safe place, go into a site-built store, gas station, restaurant, any place that would offer shelter, go into a small room and take shelter there. We're still monitoring reports. We have reports of trees down and cars overturned around Harper's Dairy Loop Road. A command is being set up now by the Eastern Valley Fire Department. So again, reports of trees down and cars overturned, and this certainly sounds like a tornado touchdown out on Harper's Dairy Loop Road. And again, this is out in the McCalla area. These storms ramped up in a hurry. And again, we're starting to see reports now, actual photographs of trees down on Pocahontas Road out in the McCalla area. So this has produced damage. Now, the one thing we can tell you now is the fact that the part of Jefferson County is out. So the warning, the tornado warning for Jefferson County has expired. Because the storm has moved out of the county, the warning is in effect for Shelby County, for the areas you see there. So let's go back to the high-resolution radar. And again, we have reports of damage now with this storm. And again, you can see it's located right here, approaching Interstate 65 near that Tank Farm exit, near County Road 52 and I-65. We have had multiple reports of damage coming in from McCalla around Pocahontas Road, and we've had reports of cars that have been overturned. So again, I don't have time to go through all of the places that are not in this polygon, but if you are in it, we're concerned about that, that you want to be in a safe place. So again, let's go back to the, again, you're looking at the SkyCam here. Let's go back to our main graphic system. And again, the one thing we want to stress is that Jefferson County is out of the tornado warning. So no part of Jefferson County is under a tornado warning. The warning is for northern Shelby County. And again, that includes Helena, Pelham, Alabaster. Let's go back to the view we saw just a second ago. I want to show a close-up shot of this. Now, again, please understand, we don't issue warnings by counties. If you live in Jefferson, no part of the county is under a warning. And if you live in Shelby, it's only a part of the county. Again, the polygon clips the city of Chelsea. The main danger is south of Highway 280. If you're north of Highway 280, there's no danger up here. There's great room for error. So again, this will be coming out across the interstate here in just a second. All right, so what we're going to do right now is open our 6 o'clock news. It is coming up on 6 o'clock. This is ABC 3340, WBMA Birmingham, WCFT Tuscaloosa, WJSU Anniston. The 6 o'clock news starts now, and for now, the news is weather. The reason we are here, it's a tornado warning that's in effect for Shelby County. And let's go back to the high-resolution radar. If there's any good news, in the last volume scan, the intensity of the tornado signature really decreased, and that is a good sign. We have, again, what is broad rotation on radar, but not the tight tornadic circulation. Eastern Valley Fire Department is now asking for assistance from Bessemer Fire for help. They are reporting major damage to several houses. And again, this is coming from Eastern Valley Fire, and this is out in the vicinity of McCalla, which is in the southwestern part of Jefferson County. That's where we saw this thing ramp up. We actually had a bounded weak echo region. We had the hook echo. We had the couplet. Everything was there. And now, thank goodness, the signature not looking as tight as it was. And if this continues, it could be that the actual warning might be canceled, but it's certainly not for a while. We're also getting reports of significant damage at Bent Brook Golf Course. For those of you that, and again, this is coming from the National Weather Service in Birmingham, reports of significant damage at Bent Brook Golf Course that is adjacent to Interstate 459. So again, we will continue to monitor all of these reports, but it seems as though we have had a significant event with this out in the western part of the Birmingham metro. So again, the reason we are on the air, this is a tornado warning that is in effect for Shelby County for the possibility of a tornado that is crossing Interstate 65. Again, very close to the County Road 52 Pelham exit. Let's go back to our main graphic system if we can do that, and want to show again, it looks like the warning has been canceled. Okay. So the Weather Service is, as you saw on the radar, the signature has just totally gone away, and the Weather Service has canceled the tornado warning. We now have a severe thunderstorm warning for Shelby County. So again, the tornado warning has been canceled for Shelby County. We now have a severe thunderstorm warning. And again, this would include places like Westover, Chelsea, Harpersville, Wilsonville, Columbiana. So again, even though we have lost the tornado signature, we have obviously had some very significant damage. Eastern Valley Fire is asking now for help from the Jefferson County Sheriff's Office for as many deputies as possible to the Pocahontas Road area. So again, it is obvious that we have had some very significant damage out in McCalla. Here's another report. This is coming from Morgan Road and Dodd Road. Strong wind, trees, and power lines down. They think maybe a small tornado hit there, and this is consistent with the track that we have had. So again, apparently what could be a small tornado has come right through this zone, right in through here. This would be a little south of Interstate 459. The Bent Brook Golf Course sits about right here, and this thing came right in through here, crossing over into Shelby County. I've not heard of any damage in Shelby County. Almost all the damage has been reported over in Jefferson County with this thing. So again, we're watching the reports coming in from John Talbot. John is one of our sky watchers, and John is a very avid scanner listener. And John, again, is reporting that various law enforcement agencies are being called in to assist Eastern Valley Fire. The smaller departments only have a limited amount of resources, and they are asking for help at this point. So, again, so here we go. Let's go look at the big picture. And again, we've got a line of severe storms that is coming through Shelby County in the southern part of Birmingham. For the city of Birmingham, the risk of severe weather is over. There is no severe weather affecting Tuscaloosa. There is no severe weather affecting Anniston and Gadsden. Now, in Anniston, Calhoun County, the weather is horrible. You've got tremendous downpours, lightning, thunder, but it's not severe by classic definition. The winds need to be in excess of 58 miles per hour for that storm to be severe. So again, you've got some active storms here, but not severe. The one warning we just have one warning, that is a severe thunderstorm warning that's in effect for Shelby County. And again, everybody along and south of the line of storms, that is a severe thunderstorm watch that technically will be in effect until 1 a.m. And what's going to happen, that will be cleared as the storms drop on down to the south. Let's go tighter into Shelby County. Again, we'll look at the area that's under the severe thunderstorm warning now. And we'll put on just a single radar frame here. We'll take a look at the Birmingham radar. This is Highway 280 coming out of Birmingham, coming down toward Harpersville. And again, if we can take off the composite, put on the single site radar from Birmingham, you'll see that we've got these strong storms. This is in real time now. The radar site is down here at the Shelby County Airport. And we'll expand this out a little bit so people can see a little wider view of the entire county. The weather is just atrocious here in Chelsea, but again, we stress the tornado signature. It is long gone. I'm watching the velocity display, and we are not seeing any sign of tornado activity here, and the tornado warning is over. But it certainly seems as though we've had a tornado that has touched down in parts of McCalla and southwest Jefferson County. And again, we have news. What sized hail? Okay, we've had a few reports of golf ball sized hail. And again, it is a situation where we're going to get additional information. What happens in a case like this, we get a tremendous amount of information and we do our best to pass along credible information. We try and not pass along information that's not perhaps consistent with reality. It's very hard to, on the fly, assess in real time the valid reports, but there's clearly a search and rescue operation going on now by the Eastern Valley Fire Department through many damaged homes. Bessemer Fire is on the way to help. Jefferson County Sheriff is on the way to help. So again, a major search and rescue operation is underway now in the around Pocahontas Road. This is back in the southwestern part of Jefferson County around McCalla. And again, we are, the images I'm seeing a lot of trees down here. We have not seen images yet of damaged homes, but apparently there have been multiple damaged homes out there in that part of the county of Jefferson County. We are seeing an image now coming in of some damage from a church in McCalla. It looks like the steeple has been taken off. In fact, what I'm going to do in real time here, we're going to stick this over on the source number 1. So if we could take the first source, got the second source with a high-resolution radar. The first source is going to be some images, and if we can take that, I'll show you. Okay, I'll show you some of the images that are coming in there. And again, these are all in real time on the fly, and we try and do our best to assess these. And again, you should be seeing these. And if you, Megan, if you can change that to iPad 1 on that big monitor so I can see, that would help me tremendously. And again, once we get those images, we'll pass that on to you. If you're just watching us, this is a situation where this was a little unexpected. If you've heard me speak before, you know the one thing I say over and over and over when it comes to thunderstorms, expect the unexpected. It looked as though we were going to get away with a relatively minor situation here with perhaps not severe problems, but we've certainly had some issues. So again, this is one image. We'll take this. This is from a church that is in McCalla. It looks like the steeple has been taken off. I don't see any structural damage to the church, but again, that's a sign of some of the damage that we're seeing coming in today. And again, this is all real time in Twitter. And again, obviously, we've got the ominous clouds. We've had so many of these today. So again, this is a situation. We're going to stay with weather for just a little bit. We'll go back to the radar here, and again, we'll put the main radar behind us. I'm watching both the velocity display, and I'm seeing no sign of any tornado. We have no tornado warnings in effect. We have a severe thunderstorm warning continuing for Shelby County for this storm complex that is coming out toward Chelsea, Westover, and Harpersville. And again, John, that was my bad. I didn't have the right button pressed. That was my bad. Yeah, we're good. So again, this storm will continue moving over into Talladega County. And the main issue now is from strong winds, possibly gusting in the 40 and 50 mile per hour bracket. The velocity displays showing are really not that impressive at this point. In fact, the storms might be dropping to under severe limits. So it seems as though for just a brief moment, we had a situation where we had what could be a small tornado or maybe a more sizable tornado come through parts of Jefferson County around McCalla. Let's take a look at an image. Again, this is coming in back on the first source. This is coming in from the Bent Brook Golf Course. You can see some trees down here. Again, we've had reports of significant damage coming in from Bent Brook. And again, we will continue to monitor that. Let's go back to the radar. We'll put that behind me. We'll kind of bounce back and forth between the main radar and some of these graphics here. But we do know for sure from John Talbot that we've got a search and rescue operation going on in the southwestern part of the county. We've got reports now that there could be some damage in Letson Farms. That is a major residential community in McCalla. In fact, let's take a look. This is an image, and it's kind of hard to see because obviously it's dark, and it's going to be very hard to see. That was taken from Letson Farms, a report of some storm damage there. And again, this is that shot of the damage out at Bent Brook Golf Course. All of this happened here within the hour. This is a shot I'll show you here. And again, whether that happens to be the tornado or not, it's awfully hard to tell. It's dark. It is hard to determine by looking at a still image, but that shot was taken earlier this evening. That was taken from, let's see, US 31 in Pelham across from Home Depot. That's near that tank farm exit. We talked about that. And again, that could be a tornado. That might be as it was lifting. It looks like the tornado lifted as it came into Shelby County and Pelham, moving out of Jefferson County. So again, we're going to continue to monitor social media. Let's go back to the radar, the main radar behind us. It is now 6:10. We apologize. We typically be in the newscast. What happened, a tornado warning was issued for Jefferson and Shelby counties between 5:30 and 5:45 as a tornado signature popped up on radar. And about that time, a tornado did indeed drop apparently in the McCalla area, producing some significant damage. But let me say this, if you're listening to us and if you're driving, we're going to give an all clear. Now, understand the weather's terrible here. Obviously, if you're driving on 280 coming out of Birmingham, it is pouring. Thunder, lightning, the winds could be gusty, but it's not really dangerous, I'd say, to drive at this point. So again, it is a situation where
visibility is actually about 0.
Right, and that's in heavy rain.
You cannot
right.
see.
And people have different tolerances for driving in storms, but in terms of a tornado threat, that's ended. So we typically block off sections of roads and tell people don't drive. Let me show you another shot coming in from the Source 1, iPad 1. This is, again, this is what could be that tornado. This was captured in the western part of Shelby County. And again, I'll get the specific location here in just a second.
James, Jim at the National Weather Service has said watching the cell north of Columbiana/Shelby County, potential for recycling. So they're watching that one carefully.
Right, and that's the thing. Since we've had this to happen, we're going to have to stay here and watch these storms to see if they recycle again. Let's put the high-resolution radar behind me. And again, this is going to be a velocity display. For now, there's no sign of any rotation right there. No sign of any rotation from that particular thunderstorm. However, the Weather Service is monitoring that in the event that it recycles. And again, getting a lot of images coming in from the tank farm exit. Let me show you another shot. Let's go back to Internet 1. This was taken along Interstate 65 at the County Road 52 exit. Most people around here know that is the tank farm exit. And again, that could be that tornado in a dissipating stage at this point. So again, that happened again about 5:45 to 5:50 today. So back to the high-resolution radar. And again, what you've got here, we've got some strong storms coming into Shelby County. And again, these storms have had a history of producing damage. And apparently it dropped a tornado in the McCalla community, which is southwest of Birmingham in the far southwestern part of the county. Yes, ma'am.
Severe thunderstorm warning has now been issued for Talladega until 7. They've extended it eastward. Okay.
So what the Weather Service is doing, they are issuing a new severe thunderstorm warning for Talladega County for this storm. And again, this is going to be moving into places like Sylacauga, Sycamore, Talladega. And again, we've got a crew in Columbiana, and they're obviously, they can't, what we do in this situation, we stress safety first, and we've got our crew in Columbiana going to a safe place. So again, if you're just joining us, what happened, we had the storms ramp up very quickly. The storms ramped up about 5 o'clock, and we had warnings being issued. First off, a severe thunderstorm warning, and then a tornado warning. And about the time the tornado warning was issued, apparently a tornado did indeed touch down southwest of the city of Birmingham, out in the vicinity of McAdory or McCalla. And we have reports of a lot of damage around Pocahontas Road. We've had some reports of damage in Letson Farms. And I don't want to panic people when I say this. We don't know the extent of the damage, but from what we're hearing initially, it sounds like it could be significant. We're getting reports that a house-to-house type search and rescue is underway by Eastern Valley Fire Department, and they are in the process of working on that right now. And as soon as we get information back from our folks, we will certainly pass that on to you. Again, let me show you another image back from the first source, if we can. This is going to be an image that was taken near the Bessemer Airport. And again, that's a lowering, and there could be perhaps a tornado back in that zone and through there. So again, these are images coming in between 5:30 and 5:45 this evening. And again, as you can see, John Talbot is suggesting everybody don't venture into the damaged area. The fire department is reporting trees that are down. And again, this is, again, that the image coming from the tank farm. So we'll go back to the high-resolution radar. Let's do that. This is on the second source, and we have, this is the new polygon for Talladega County. This does not include the city of Talladega or Lincoln. And again, this is not a tornado warning polygon. This is a severe thunderstorm warning polygon. This includes Childersburg, Sylacauga, that 280 corridor. For the city of Birmingham, the Birmingham Metro, for the most part, the severe weather risk is ended. The storms are moving on down to the south and east now. And again, the concern, it's for far southern Shelby County and also that southern part of Talladega County. And again, no tornado warning. We'll pop on the velocity display very quickly here. And again, you can see that we are not seeing any sign of rotation. We're waiting to see if by chance the storms ramp up once again. Scanning for reports coming from our crews out in the field, and again, the message we're getting now is that some damage assessment is being done. They ask for people to stay away, and it's going to be very hard for us on the fly to determine exactly the extent of the damage, and as our crews know, we'll be going to them and pass along firm information. So we have clearly had some very significant damage back in the McCalla area. Pocahontas Road, Eastern Valley Fire is working that. They've called for help from the Bessemer Fire and Rescue. They've called for help from the Jefferson County Sheriff's Department and going from house to house and determine the extent of the damage. Let me go back and show you one more picture. Again, this is going to be one that came in from the western part of Helena. And apparently what happened is the tornado crossed over into Shelby County. It basically dissipated. We had the damage in Jefferson. We've had damage at Bent Brook Golf Course, which, as everybody knows, is right off Interstate 459. We've had, you saw the images earlier of trees down there. Again, the extent of that damage we don't know, but clearly it sure looks like this was a tornado. What happens, the Weather Service will come in tomorrow morning with a survey team at the first light of day and take a look at this, but from all we're seeing, it certainly was what was a tornado. So let's go back to the high-resolution radar. And again, I'll take off the velocity display and put on the reflectivity display. And typically, we don't stay with this for severe thunderstorm warnings. We are going to do that for a while longer, in that apparently we have had some very significant damage with this. Again, the one thing that we want to point out, we have not heard of any injuries at this point, which is a good thing. We've heard of a good bit of damage. This obviously crossed over a very densely populated part of the Birmingham Metro earlier this evening. We were thankful that the tornado lifted once it came over into Shelby County. We've had no reports of any damage from Shelby County. We've had a lot of reports or images of what seems to be perhaps tornadoes that are lifting. But power outage across much of Morgan Road. Morgan Road, of course, runs from Bessemer down to Interstate 459, again, down below Interstate 459. And as soon as we get the specifics, and I'm very hesitant to give out damage reports that are very specific because we just don't have confirmation yet. We don't want to alarm people that maybe have relatives there, or maybe your home is there and you're at work, or you're listening to this. But again, Eastern Valley Fire is still getting calls of structural damage, and John Talbot has heard of one injury with this evening. That's the first we've heard of an injury. And again, John is one of our sky watchers. He monitors the scanner traffic, and he's had reports of one injury. So again, that's where we stand right now. We are in a situation where we have a line of severe storms passing south and east of Birmingham. And again, the reason we haven't been talking about Anniston and Oxford, the weather's horrible here, but we have no warnings. The storms are under severe limits. To be severe, storms need to have 1-inch diameter hail or 58-mile-per-hour winds. And the storms up here in Anniston, Oxford are not doing that. The concern has been these storms coming through the southern part of the Birmingham Metro. And again, what's left of the storm that produced the tornado, apparent tornado near McCalla, is now coming into southern Talladega County. That'll be coming over here toward Sylacauga, Oak Grove, Sycamore. You can expect winds maybe gusting as high as 40, 50, maybe on the high end 60. It could be enough to knock down a few trees and power lines in spots. But again, at this point, we don't have any reports of damage from Shelby County, and that's a good thing. I want to go back very quickly and take a look at the velocity display. And again, we're watching for signs of tight rotation. We just don't see that. There's no evidence of any circulation down here in this part of Shelby or Talladega counties. But again, straight line winds could gust rather high. Let's go back to our main graphic system. And again, this is going to show the large area. Let's expand this out a little bit, Megan. There we go. This is the big picture. And again, you can see we've got thunderstorms now stretching from Anniston and Oxford, curving down into Shelby County. Again, we stress over here in West Alabama, there is no severe weather. If you're in Tuscaloosa, Greene, Hale counties, you're going to get some thunder, some lightning, but nothing severe. The greater concern is for areas east of Interstate 65. And once this line passes, the risk of severe weather is over. That's it for tonight. Cool, dry air drops in here later tonight. The sky will be clearing, and the watch will be canceled as the line drops on down to the south. Let's take a closer look on the eastern side of the state very quickly. And again, this is a situation where we've got storms that are active. They're producing lightning, thunder, heavy rain. And again, one note from John Talbot, the fire department is asking for an additional ambulance now on Pine Valley Road. And again, the reason I'm giving out some of the locations based on John's reports, they are credible and they're valid. So again, Eastern Valley Fire that is working the tornado damage in McCalla, they are asking for an additional ambulance on Pine Valley Road. Yeah, if you guys have additional images, that's great. We'll go ahead and take that. We have an aggregate service that we use back in the news department that takes in social media images. So if you guys have that, yeah, I know that's Pocahontas Road. I've seen that images a number of times. That is a sign of some of the damage we have here. And again, these are various images that are coming from different social media platforms. That's out at Bentbrook. We've seen that shot today. Again, we have a lot of trees down there. And again, all of this is in McCalla. We've got reports of trees and power lines down, again, on Pocahontas Road. We have heard a report of one injury from John Talbot, and that is it at this point. But understand it's going to be very sketchy. It is dark. It is very hard to work these events and do search and rescue like this. And we've got people from our television station that are there, and as soon as it's safe to go live, we'll be able to go to them. So you guys let me know in my ear as soon as we see the images. Let me show you one image coming in from social media. This is going to be a tree that is blocking, let's see, this is going to be Dickey Springs Road. And this is all from the same storm. This is all Pocahontas Road, Dickey Springs Road, Letson Farms. This is all out in the McCalla area. And again, that is a tree down. So the one thing that would not be a good thing is to perhaps be driving in these areas and that it is dark, it is still raining. It's not raining as heavily there, but understand that we can easily have a tree down and you really can't see it till you come right up on it, and that can create all kind of problems. So,
James, amateur radio reports from the National Weather Service are saying that there was trees reported down, tin roofs off, trees down in the vicinity. Also, report of a home leveled around 543 southwest of Bessemer. So.
Right, and all this is from that same storm. And again, let me just say this again. The next question is it safe to travel? And let's go back to the Birmingham Metro, and let me just focus on that because this is where we've had let me see, Jefferson and Shelby counties. For Jefferson County, there is no risk of severe weather. The severe weather risk is over. This has been over for a while. So anywhere in Jefferson County, you've got light rain. There could be a bit of thunder and lightning, but there is no risk of any severe weather. The problems are down here in the far southern part of Shelby County. For Alabaster, Helena, Pelham, the danger is over. For, again, any part of Jefferson County, the danger is over, and that's for the whole night. There will be no more storms. You could see a little light rain for the next hour or two, but that rain will be ending soon. The stronger storms are down here in the far southern part of the county, from the town of Calera back over to the town of Shelby, back over to Wilsonville and Harpersville. And we have no sign of any tornado here. This is a severe thunderstorm warning, not a tornado warning. So, again, we have severe storms over the far southern part of Shelby County, but for most of Shelby County, all of Jefferson County, going about your business. But again, I would use extreme caution. In fact, let's zoom into the damaged area, and I'll try and give you an idea. Megan, if you can zoom into McCalla, which is down here, and keep going in a little tighter, and a little tighter, and we're going to go down to the south below here. Need to go down to the south a little bit, please. You can just pan down. There we go. So this is Interstate 459. All right. The damage, it's going to be back in this region right in through here. This is where the greatest chance of damage will be. It seems to be down to the south of Interstate 459. Eastern Valley Fire works these areas down here to the south. And again, I'm hesitant to be very specific. I don't want to call out street names on damage because, again, it's dangerous to do this at this point. It is because, again, people maybe have homes there or they have relatives there. There's a lot of things we don't know. We just know there's been a lot of significant damage, probably related to a tornado in the McCalla area down to the southwest of the city of Birmingham and the southwestern part of Jefferson County. We've had damage around Bent Brook, which is along Interstate 459 right in through here. And again, this seems to be the greatest possibility of the damage. And again, once the tornado itself was actually moving a little bit from northwest to southeast, it came down into Shelby County and dissipated. We've heard of no reports of any damage in Shelby County, which is a good thing for them. But again, the problems are back over here in Jefferson County. So again, just wanted to show you this is the general area where we've had the storm damage this evening. And I don't want to be much more specific than this. One of the things we try and do here, we tell you what we don't know and we don't tell you what we don't know. And obviously Pocahontas Road, Dickey Springs Road, the Bent Brook Golf Course, those areas have had storm damage. There have been damage to homes. There's a search and rescue operation underway with Eastern Valley Fire. They have requested help from Bessemer Fire and the Jefferson County Sheriff's Department to come in and help them with storm assessment and search and rescue. Let's take another image. This is coming in. Again, this is a home in Letson Farms. They say everybody there is fine, but that is an example of the storm damage we are seeing in that part of McCalla. Letson Farms is a very large residential area, and again, this is south of Interstate 459, down below McAdory High School. But again, that's an example of the damage we have. So let's go back to the main graphic system, and let's go back to maybe a wider radar view, and we're just going to show you what's going on here. We have no tornado warnings. We're staying with this because of the damage that we have had in Jefferson County. And again, as soon as we get our crews that are safe to go on the air, we will go to them. We have a report of a tree through a house. And again, I'm not going to give a specific location. I'm hesitant to do that because if we want to give you accurate information. And again, I firmly believe that we do have a lot of issues involving significant structural damage out here. We'll just leave it at that. And again, as we get additional specific information that we know is good, we'll pass that on to you. If you're in Anniston, the weather is just horrible. Heflin, Fruithurst, I mean, it's nasty. Tremendous rain, thunder, lightning, some small hail, but the storms are under severe limits. There are no warnings here. In fact, the only warnings are for far southern Shelby and far southern Talladega, and that's it. There are no problems with severe weather west of Interstate 65, Tuscaloosa County or any of the counties surrounding that. And again, once the line passes, the risk of severe weather is over. For the Birmingham Metro, the severe weather risk is ended. Technically, there might be a severe thunderstorm watch. That will be canceled soon as the Weather Service has time to do that. And again, the concern is going to be east of I-65 and the counties down here in pink. That is a severe thunderstorm watch, technically until 1 a.m. We all know the watch will be canceled early as the storms continue to drop on down to the south. I'd say the odds of another tornado warning are small. Quite frankly, this was a setup where tornadoes really were not favored today. But if you've heard me speak, I've said it over and over and over. When it comes to thunderstorms, you expect the unexpected, and this is a good example of that. About the time the Weather Service saw that hook and the bounded weak echo region and the velocity couplet on radar, they put out the warning. But it's going to be a case where about the time that tornado got down is about the time the warning went out. And a lot of that damage occurred out there right as the warning was issued. And again, we're very thankful that apparently as it crossed over into Shelby County, I've heard of no damage from Helena, Pelham, or Alabaster, those densely populated communities there. These stronger storms, as you can see, are racing over into the city of Talladega, the city of Lincoln. They'll be coming into Sylacauga soon. You might see winds gusting to 30, 40, maybe 50 on the high end. But again, I'm looking at the live velocity display, and we are not seeing anything that would really reflect that. Let's look at another image coming in from social media. Again, this is another image of the shots that we have seen over and over today of what could be a tornado. And again, once we have time, we'll go back and kind of go through these and vet these and show some of the better images later on the coverage here. But we thank for everybody for taking the time to send those in by social media. So again, back to the radar. It is 6:29, and typically what happens, we go to Wheel of Fortune. So I'm going to ask our friends back in the booth, you give me some guidance on where you'd like for us to go with this. We'll stay with this if you would like. If not, we will go back to this. All right. See, let's take another look at an image coming in from Letson Farms. Again, Letson Farms is out in McCalla. And again, you can see that apparently there's been considerable damage there. I have heard of one injury, one so far. We hope it stays that way. We'll go back to the radar, and again, we're going to bounce back and forth between these images and the radar here over the course of the next few minutes. John Talbot, again, who is our sky watcher. John is very credible. John monitors the right sources with the scanner, and he has now heard of up to 3 reports of 3 people injured. So according to scanner reports, and I know that the journalists don't like to do it that way, but sometimes we do in weather, 3 reports of injuries. We have no earthly idea if the injuries are, and by the way, we're going to stay here for a while. So and again, we apologize if you're trying to watch Wheel of Fortune. We've had a serious weather situation, and again, we will be right back with it tomorrow night. Yeah, Grace Life Baptist Church, the steeple is off. We know that, and I'll show you an image here in just a second. But it seems like everybody down Eastern Valley Road has had a pretty rough time. Let me show you this image. This is coming from Cropwell. And again, this is in St. Clair County. There's no tornado here. That's a scud cloud, but we're going to see a lot of creepy clouds with these storms as they pass through. And again, we'll go back to the radar. We're going to bounce back and forth pretty quickly here, and that we're doing this in a system we typically don't use. Sometimes you do things that you do to just to get it on the air. Again,
they canceled the severe thunderstorm warning for Shelby County.
Okay.
It's now just Talladega County.
Right. The severe storms are out of Shelby County. So the warning for Shelby County has ended. The warning continues for Talladega, and this is southern Talladega County. It's Highway 21 going up to Talladega. Sycamore is here. This is the city of Sylacauga. The storm's coming into Sylacauga. It's going to be a pretty rough ride. You could see winds gusting to 30, 40, maybe 50 on the high end. But again, the storms are not anywhere close to the magnitude that we saw 1 hour ago. But the Weather Service will maintain that severe thunderstorm warning for a while longer. Let me show you one image. Again, this is coming in, it looks like from Interstate 459 earlier today. A little fuzzy. I understand it was getting dark, but that could be the tornado you see back in the background. We've got a lot of images like this, and again, we're going to vet these when we have a little bit of time and give you a better presentation of those later tonight. So we'll go back to the radar. It is 6:32. We have had apparently a tornado touchdown in the southwest part of Jefferson County around McCalla. And again, I stress there are no tornado warnings. If you are watching us and if you are concerned about a tornado, there are absolutely no tornado warnings in effect at this point. Let's go back to an image we have here. This is coming from Bill Castle. Bill Castle is out in the Eastern Valley Road area where Eastern Valley Fire is working the damage. And again, that's one of Bill's images. And again, you can obviously see a lot of tree and power line damage. There's a lot of power outages in McCalla. And I would imagine that it's a situation where a lot of people are trying to communicate with relatives, and sometimes the cell towers get overloaded. But let's go back to the graphics. And again, we're going to bounce back and forth between the radar and the images that have come in. And again, as soon as we get Bill's live shot, we will bring that back. And bring that on the air so you can see. And again, the good news, it just seems like the whole thing is settling down. But the reason we're staying here is because apparently we've had a tornado that has touched down in the southwestern part of Jefferson County. And we are in the process of watching the reports come in. And we have had many reports, and we're trying to pass along credible information. We believe that there have been a few injuries. We don't know the extent. We really don't know the exact number. Based on scanner reports from John Talbot, he believes that there had been perhaps 3 injuries with this storm. We don't know if they're serious or not. We just don't know at this point. But again, the one thing that is also being reported are gas leaks. Anytime you've had a tornado touchdown, we typically have many gas leaks, and we've had reports of that. And obviously, this is one reason you don't want to be in that zone. So if Interstate 459, you're okay to travel on that. That's fine. And again, the severe weather risk is over, but we advise nobody to go down Eastern Valley Road or any of those roads that go down to the tornado damaged area. Pocahontas Road, there's been some very significant damage there. We've had damage on Dickey Springs Road in McCalla. So if you're down and this is between McCalla and Tannehill State Park. Tannehill State Park had no damage. That's kind of just giving you a reference. This is below Bessemer, really in a part that's considered McCalla, really toward the southern part of McCalla. So what you've got here, this is our one warning. This is a severe thunderstorm warning for the southern part of Talladega County, and that is the only warning we have in effect at this point. The warning includes Sylacauga, Oak Grove, Sycamore, Fayetteville. And again, as the storms sweep on down to the south, these warnings will either be extended or they will be dropped. And again, once the storms pass, that's it. The risk of severe weather is ended. Very quickly, we'll take a look at the high-res radar just for the fun of it. I wanted to show you that there's no sign of any rotation down here. I don't show this. We're watching all of these things in real time. There is no rotation in here, and the odds of any additional rotation are small, but of course not zero. The tornado that spun up in a hurry today came quickly. It went away quickly, and more than likely that is the only tornado in the state. And we've said this over and over and over. People ask on these severe weather threats, will this be like April 27, 2011? Of course the right answer is no, that's generational. But all it takes is one tornado in the whole state like we've got today. It looks like we're going to have one. And if that comes down your street, that's your April 27th. So that's why we don't like to answer that question here. But yes, again, we stress for all those people that are listening that if you are in the Birmingham metro, if you are down in McCalla, the risk of severe weather has ended. Yes, you could clearly have more rain. You might have a little thunder and lightning, but the whole thing will be winding down. The bulk of that precipitation will be over relatively soon. So again, I'm just going to pull this back and I'm going to put on the reflectivity display. And the band of storms is clearly south and east of Birmingham. And you can see still there are some lingering showers up here north of Birmingham that will likely come through the metro. All of this is moving to the east, but the overall trend is for the storms to sag down to the south. And this is the batch of storms that produced that tornado in McCalla earlier this evening. So again, back in the back, when you guys get Bill's live shot established, let me know and we'll take that live. Just saw a note here from Mayor Mark Hall of the city of Helena. He reports no damage to his knowledge in the city of Helena, at least no major damage. And he has asked the fire department of Helena to offer any assistance to Eastern Valley Fire. And obviously, Eastern Valley Fire has certainly needed some assistance. Hoover Fire is now on the scene. Hoover Fire is bringing heavy rescue trucks into the Eastern Valley area. And again, that is a sign that we've got some very, very significant damage. And we know that there are house-to-house search and rescue operations in progress now. So again, Hoover has sent some of their heavy equipment in. A report, somebody says they heard and felt the tornado at their house in Pelham off County Road 42. Again, it might be a loft. We've had no damage in Pelham, no damage in Helena, and that's a good thing. So again, we're getting all these questions, and I hope that everybody's kind of watching and paying attention. Jefferson and Shelby counties, there is no danger. The severe weather threat is over. Jefferson, Shelby counties, no more severe weather. Rain, yes, you can see we're clearly going to have some more rain for the next hour or so, and that's going to hamper some of these search and rescue operations. A lot of this rain you see here in Tuscaloosa County is moving on to the east, and that's going to wind up affecting this zone. The damage zone is right in through here. This is where the damage occurred. The downtown Birmingham is here. Interstate 459 is here, and that's the area we have there. So
they're trimming back on the warning.
Right. Again, I would imagine we're not going to see many more warnings this evening. It's going to be one of these situations where we've had showers and storms around throughout the day today. We had one spot where this thing really ramped up. I mean, it ramped up in a hurry between 5:30 and 6 o'clock. And as soon as we saw the hook, the velocity couplet, what could be a TDS, a tornado debris signature, that's when the Weather Service hit the trigger on the tornado warning. And understand there was a severe thunderstorm warning in effect before the tornado warning. And, it's one of the things that you often see in the call to action statement with a severe thunderstorm warning. The storm might produce a tornado at any time. And certainly that was the case in this situation. So, and again, it's unfortunate that we have had this on primary day where people are trying to vote. If you watched us last night, we recommended that you vote in the morning, and we certainly hope that people heeded that advice, because the polls are open for 20 more minutes. And, it is obviously a situation where, in some cases, it's going to be hard to get there with all of this inclement weather here. But again, the polls stay open until 7 o'clock. And again, as soon as we establish our live shot in that tornado damaged area and learn more about what's happened, we'll kind of shift the emphasis here from weather coverage back over to Super Tuesday coverage. Again, we've got Sarah Snyder and Bill Castle. We've got a lot of our people out in that zone. Let's take another image. Again, this is, we got so much of this, and understand this happens at night, and you can see power lines down, and you've got trees down, and this is all down around Pocahontas Road in McCalla. We've had damage at Letson Farms. We've had damage at the Bent Brook Golf Course. We've had damage on Dickey Springs Road in McCalla. We have major structural damage. We have multiple fire and rescue units now in that area, including Jefferson County Sheriff, Bessemer, obviously Eastern Valley Fire, that's their territory. Hoover Fire, they brought in some heavy equipment now searching this area here. So we'll go back to the high resolution radar, and again, we're going to bounce back and forth between these images as they come in. Again, we are slowly winding down the severe weather threat here. We're shifting from the severe weather coverage into a reporting situation where we're reporting on what apparently was a very significant tornado. We don't know for sure if this was a tornado. We will know early in the morning. Apparently it was, based on the radar signature and based on the reports. And again, the Weather Service will be sending a survey team into the damaged area at the first light of day tomorrow, and we'll know what exactly happened here. And often in a case like this, when it's dark, you really don't know the extent of the damage. We can't get in there and see everything. The weather's not good. We have more rain coming in. And again, you can see we've got rain coming in from the west that's going to be coming into this zone right in through here. Again, my finger's right here on the damage area, which is southwest of Birmingham. And they will have rain at times, and there's still a bit of lightning and thunder in some of this.
Jim at the, I hate to interrupt you, but Jim at the National Weather Service has said Boundary Week Echo region indicated in Talladega County they're keeping a close watch for eastward extension of the warning.
Okay. All right. Let's go for a minute over to Dave and Brent at the news desk.
We are working for you to try to figure out exactly the extent of the damage, so we have contacted the Emergency Management Agency.
Yeah, Jim Coker joins us right now on the telephone. And Jim, can you kind of give us a scope of what's happened in Jefferson County?
Good evening. This is primarily the southwestern side of Jefferson County around McAdory area, Pocahontas Road, Bent Brook Golf Course. We know that we've had some reports of injuries. The fire departments out there have called for mutual aid, so they are getting additional assistance right now. We do encourage people certainly not to go out in that area because we know we have power lines down, so there are some road hazards, and we want to try to keep the roads open for responding emergency crews.
Jim, we know that we've heard the number 3 injuries or so. I know it's kind of early to really be able to tell, but are you hearing a number of the injured right now?
I'm not hearing the number yet.
Also,
Not
Jim,
yet.
we're hearing about some gas leaks. Have you heard anything about that out there?
No, sir, we've not heard that yet.
Okay.
Okay, but again, I know we have all covered these types of situations, and the number one thing that you always remind us is that you don't want people going to the area, onlookers, to just see what's happened. Isn't that right?
Yeah, that's correct. Right now we need the roads reserved for the responding crews, the public safety crews, and the Alabama Power and so on. So please wait. I'm sure you'll provide very good coverage throughout the evening, and the best way for them to watch it or to find out about it will be to watch you.
All right. Don't go to the area. Power lines can be down. It can be very, very dangerous.
We know you're busy, Jim. We wanted to check in with you, and we thank you for joining us.
Yeah, the Weather Service is going to pull a trigger on a tornado warning. This is going to be in effect for parts of East Alabama, and yeah, there it is, all right? Here's your tornado warning polygon. This will include the southeastern tip of Talladega County, the far northern part of Coosa County, the far southern part of Clay County, and the northern part of Tallapoosa counties. All right, so again, we don't issue warnings by county, we issue warnings by polygons. And if you're in this red polygon, you need to be in a safe place. This includes the community of Goodwater. This does not include Alexander City. Alexander City is not involved in this. But it does include Goodwater. It does not include Rockford. It includes the far south and east part of the city of Talladega. It does not include Ashland. It does not include Lineville. This is for a segment of all of these counties kind of in between the major population centers. So again, we've got far northern Tallapoosa, far southern Clay, far northern Coosa, and the southeastern tip of Talladega County. Let's go back to the high-resolution radar, and that is a very well-defined signature on radar now. That is the tornado, and it's moving in this area here, moving to the east. So city of Sylacauga sits up in here. That's the tornado, and this is moving this way. This will not affect the city of Sylacauga. You might hear sirens going off, but the greatest danger is going to be below Sylacauga. And I'd say that this, in fact, you can see on that latest volume scan, it's located right in here. So that's going to be pretty close to the intersection of US 280 and US 231. US 231 drops down toward Wetumpka and Montgomery. So obviously nobody should be driving along US 280. Let's go back to the main graphic system. This will show a better mapping of this whole thing. And again, coming out of Sylacauga, you can see right here, that's 231 going south. That's Highway 280. The main danger will actually be a bit north of US Highway 280. Alabama Highway 9 runs from Wetumpka all the way up to Ashland. Nobody should be driving along Highway 9, State Highway 9. A lot of people use that, especially this time of day. You should not be on that highway. Coming north out of Alexander City, Highway 63, same thing. Nobody should be on that highway. Community of New Site sits over here. That's Alabama Highway 22 coming out of Alexander City. Nobody should be in driving on 22. But I stress this tornado warning does not include the city of Alexander City. So again, this is your warning. The danger is past Sylacauga. So for Sylacauga, we'll give you an all clear. The issue it's going to be really this Highway 9 corridor in through here. Again, you've got Ashland and Lineville that sit right up in through here. Nobody should be on Highway 9 from Ashland all the way down to Highway 280. That's where the danger will be. Ashland is here. Lineville is here. That's your tornado warning polygon. So again, we stress Ashland and Lineville not involved in this. However, we do have this strip right in through here. It's kind of in between the major population centers, but certainly people live there, and this thing still looks very ominous on radar. Let's go back to that high-resolution radar, and I'll show you that we've got a very well-defined couplet that's located right there. And again, this is moving to the east, southeast. And if you live in Goodwater, if you have a Goodwater address, a zip code, you need to be in a safe place. No cars, no mobile homes, a small room and a site-built structure, a site-built house on the lowest floor near the center, away from windows. So again, this is a tornado warning in effect for the far northern part of Coosa County, the far southern part of Clay County, and the far northern part of Tallapoosa County. That's your tornado right there. So let's go back to that main graphic system. And again, the way we do things here, we have major damage in McCalla. But as long as we have a life-threatening storm, we stay with this coverage. And the minute we finish this, we'll go back to covering what has happened. And we certainly have a lot of things to tell you about what's happened out in the southwest part of Jefferson County. But again, this is your tornado warning polygon. That's Highway 9 here that runs north from Highway 280 through Goodwater and then back up to Ashland. Ashland sits right here. That's the northern edge of the polygon. So nobody should be on Alabama Highway 9 through Goodwater or from US 280 up to Ashland. What you do, you stop. There's not a lot of stores down here. Now, that's the one problem when you get off into rural parts of the state. There's not a lot of places to stop, but you find somewhere where you can stop, and if you can find a site-built structure, get into that. If you're in a car, we want nobody along Alabama Highway 63 from Alexander City north up to Highway 9. And again, that section, again, you can see the polygon bounded by the red lines here. That's your actual danger area. So this warning, Megan, extends until what time this evening? I would imagine 7:15. All right, that makes good sense. And again, we have a lot of images coming in from the damage.
It's moving pretty quickly, around 45 miles an hour to the east.
Right, these are flying along. And again, let's go back. And again, just while you're looking at this, and again, let's just leave this back here. Just let me indicate that there's a lot of medical response out here to McCalla. Trees down, power lines down. We want to stress, we've heard of now 4 injuries, and this is from Andrew Donnelly of ABC 3340. Andrew is one of our reporters, and he is there. 2 have been transported to apparently UAB Medical Center West, which is in Bessemer. No other details yet. So again, the latest information from our reporter who is there is we have 4 injured, 2 have been transported. And again, the damage from the looks of things, it is very significant. And again, we are going to stay with this, and we're going to stay with this warning, and we'll go back to covering the damage out in McCalla in just a second. So let's go back to the high resolution radar. And again, you can clearly see that we have right there a strong indication of a tornado. This will be moving across Highway 9, probably a little north of Goodwater. And like we've talked about, if you have a Goodwater zip code, a Goodwater address, you need to be in a safe place. This is a situation where you do not want to be in a mobile home. This is a routine that you should practice on a nice day where you have a shelter nearby and you get there. But obviously in this situation, we advise for those people in far southern Clay and far northern Coosa counties to be in a safe place. And again, the good news, the couplet is still there, but it's not as intense as it was. Still, understand, keep those precautions going. You stay in your safe place. We'll watch these volume scans, and hopefully we'll lose the signature and the warning will go away. Let me go back to the main graphic system, and again, let me show you what we got here. This is where all these counties come together. This is Coosa County. That's Talladega County. This is Clay, and this is Tallapoosa. And the warning is basically where all those counties merge together. And again, that's going to be scooting out across the far southern part of Clay County. And again, I stress for the big population centers, this is not going to affect you. You are not in a warning. You might be in Ashland or Lineville. You hear sirens or your weather radio sounded. You're not in the polygon. And if you're not, you're okay. You go about your business. If you're in the polygon, you respect it and you do something. Alexander City is not in this warning. If you're in Tallapoosa County, you might hear some type of warning device, but warnings are not county-based. They're based on storm motion. Tornadoes are small, counties are big, and this is a very effective and efficient system to get people to take action where there's danger, and for those that are not in danger, they don't have to do anything. That's the reason this system was implemented 8 years ago, and it works very well. So again, far southern Clay, far northern Tallapoosa, far northern Coosa counties. And again, we stress if you're in Talladega County, there was a little bitty segment of the county under this warning. That's been taken out. So we've got southern Clay, northern Coosa, northern Tallapoosa. And again, that continues moving off to the east. And let's go back to the velocity display. And again, we are in a situation where we're watching that couplet, and the couplet does not look as intense as it did about 5 minutes ago, which is a good thing, and we hope it stays that way. We certainly hope so. Yeah, we're going to stay with this for just a second, Monroe. Tell you what, let me go to Internet 1, if we can take that. This is going to be some video that's coming in from the damaged areas, so if we can go back to source number 1, this is going to show some damage. And again, this is going to be from Pocahontas Road. And you can see all of these vehicles that are working this. And at night, this is so hard. It's very hard to see anything. But again, this is video from Pocahontas Road. And we have had various units coming in to help the Eastern Valley Fire Department. Again, we've had units coming in from Jefferson County Sheriff, Bessemer Fire and Rescue, Hoover Fire and Rescue. And we know that Hoover brought in some of their heavy equipment in doing a search and rescue operation. And again, you guys in the back, let me know as soon as we get our live shot established out there, and we'll go to this. In the way we do this, we want them to be safe out in the field. And as long as there's still some lightning and thunder, sometimes it is hard to get a live shot there. So let's go back to our main graphic system behind me. If you're watching us, again, we apologize. I'm sorry?
It looks like they expired the tornado warning.
Yeah, I think they canceled that. Really, I've totally lost the rotation here. So, right, the tornado warning has been canceled. So this is good news. I see no evidence of rotation on radar now. So the tornado warning has been canceled. So if you are in southern Clay, northern Coosa, northern Tallapoosa, your danger has ended for now. And again, this is we're going to still watch the storms down to the south and east, all of these storms in East Alabama. Ashland and Lineville, it's going to get pretty nasty. Heavy rain, maybe some small hail, gusty straight line winds. But really and truly, these are still under severe limits up here in parts of Clay. This is Randolph County, and that's Cleburne County here. We stress for the city of Birmingham, the danger has ended. See here, I'm getting an image now from Stephen Quinn of our news department. And if we can take this image from Stephen, again, this is damage out in McCalla. And you can... I'm sorry, who's on the phone? Okay, Vinton Blandon. Vinton, tell us where you are and what do you see?
We started at about the 6,000 block of Brook Drive, but we've moved down to Pocahontas Road. I'm actually standing at an intersection right here at Bell Hill Road. I can just say it's an absolute cluster out here. We have Bessemer police. They're blocking traffic, stopping cars wherever they are to ask them to move down the road, and it is very dark. The only light out here is from the fire truck, so it's kind of hard for the folks who even live on this street to maneuver. So a lot of folks are just trying to get through here, but we were over closer into the McAdory area, and I reached out to EMA Director Chip Poker, who told me a couple of minutes ago that they are now starting to set up a command post at the volunteer fire department in McAdory. That's where all communications from the county will go out to the first responders who are out here working in the area. But right now I'm on Harper's Dairy Road, and that's where we understand trees are down. Jim Coker says the power lines are down, trees are down, and there's heavy damage over at the Bent Brook Golf Course. But that is the very latest from here on Pocahontas Road, James.
Yeah, Vincent, obviously everybody is concerned about their relatives that live out there. So again, you say in terms of injuries, how many injuries do you know of, and do you know any extent of those injuries?
Jim Coker, the EMA director for Jefferson County, he stopped short of getting into injuries. I asked specifically if anyone was hurt. He said he's not really sure at this point. So that means he is certainly looking into this, trying to do his checks with all of his people on the ground, all of the boots on the ground. But we talked to a couple of people here. They're all avoiding going on camera, but they said they're fine and just kind of caught them off guard, and they're out here trying to find their way around, because, as I said, it is very dark. The only light out here is from our news vehicle and a fire truck. So, the situation out here is just kind of wait and see at this point.
Okay, Vinton, thank you very much. Again, if you're just joining us, we've had apparently a very significant tornado touchdown in the southwestern part of Birmingham, and we are in the process of reviewing all of the data together and watching the images come in. And all right, so we are going to go back to programming at 7. That's in 3 minutes. So we have no tornado warnings. And again, as soon as we get additional information, we'll certainly pass that along through the television side and the social media side. But again, the fire, the police, rescue squads are very busy in McCalla. And the one advice, as you know, we're going to give is to please stay away. Your presence won't help. You might want to come in with a chainsaw and help. They'll need you tomorrow when the sun's out. Right now, it's a search and rescue type operation with the various fire departments from Eastern Valley. That is the department with the responsibility out there. And again, they have other units from different cities that have come in to help them. They've got mutual assistance going on here. And we know that there have been some injuries. We don't know the extent, but some of the hardest hit areas are Pocahontas Road. Dickey Springs Road has had some damage. In fact, really quickly, I'll close out here with a few more images. We've had so many pictures, and again, thanks to everybody for taking the time to send these in. Let me show you this image. This is from Grace Life Baptist Church. And again, you can see the steeple has come down. I don't think there's any other damage, at least do I know of, in there. So again, that is from earlier today. And all of this is around Pocahontas Road. And we have multiple crews that are there. And again, we've got a lot of images of what could have been that tornado, many of them. And we're going to sort through those this evening. We'll have more posted over on the social media channels and the television side as well. And again, we can tell you now we have no tornado warnings. So let's go back to the graphics. No tornado warnings. The severe weather threat winding down. Updates throughout the evening, plus Super Tuesday coverage right here. A lot of things going on, so stay with us on ABC 3340 News throughout the night, and certainly late tonight at 10. I'm James Spann with Megan Thomas, Dave Baird, and Brenda LaDunn, live in the ABC 3340 Weather Center.